So, me being me, always got to make a detour. Yes, I did. Yeah, I bought a Datsun, but it's okay because it'll just enable me to buy more vans. Okay, I don't just buy vans, but I do like vans. And a quick stop to do some shopping. See, I don't go shopping at a normal store. Let's see, this one. This one I picked up from, was it IAA or Copart? One of the two. This van is absolutely rust free. There is no rust on this thing. Only a couple little dents in it. The damn title's all screwed up on it. Let's see what this has in it for a cluster. Oh man, nope, that one's got idiot lights on it. But look at that. Look at that, it's so cool. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this one. That's not mine. It's for sale, but it's not mine. As long as my buddy. This truck's absolutely rust free. It's got a 440 in it. Don't ask me the price. I'll probably tell you the wrong thing. But it's runs, drives beautiful. This is what I'm going to do with the white van. Check that out. So I bought a really rusty, was it 79? 3/4 ton 4x4 Quadra van. Took the body off of it, and because the body was bad, it was super bad. And I'm gonna take all the good from this and put it in that white one. All right, parts van. Oh yeah, I already took the cluster out of this one. That's the one I had at the warehouse. No wait, it's one of the ones I had at the warehouse. Hey there. Yeah, motor's locked up on this, so oh well. All right, strike two. That's not good. Strike two. But wait, there's more. This van is actually rust free. Very solid, original paint. It's got the factory freewheeling package. So it would have originally came with those wheels, came with those graphics, porthole window, these awesome seats. Those seats are pretty awesome. All right. Ooh. So it got fancy silver cluster, and it's got the gauges. So you got that option. But wait just a minute here. What's that? What is that? Is that what we need? I do believe we have a winner here. That's the one. It's got all the right gauges in it. Haven't checked the circuit on the back, but I'll take my chances. All right. Sweet. Let's get back to the warehouse. All right, so I have an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of time today. See if I can get this van squared away. I think I got the bushing for the water temp sensor and I got a gauge cluster. I think it'll work, so let's get to it. Correction, I thought I had the right bushing for the sensor. Never ends. So for the record, I hate AutoZone. I hate going to AutoZone. I hate dealing with people at AutoZone. So it really upsets me to say this. Thank you, AutoZone. They had a 4-pack of these things in stock. Couldn't believe it. I give up. This is just ridiculous. Guess why this adapter won't work? Because it hits one of the other things I hate the most. These cheap aftermarket HEI distributors. Won't clear the distributor. Distributor also won't clear the air cleaner. I am so done right now. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Yesterday, and I ran with a misfire. But I think one wire was loose.
Oh, okay.
All right, look, it's on. You see it? It's on. It's right up against the distributor, but it's on. I had to pull the distributor out and put it back in, but it's in. What time is it?
Time to start it up.
I've got like 15 minutes, if that. So, oh crap. All right, start it up.
Start it up.
Gauge is working. It's at 145, 150. Hey, at least the gauge is working after all that work. Night Stalker! This is when I need to figure out if it's boiling over or just pushing air out. There's bubbles in there, so.
Hold my heater hooks are real hot. That's so cool. I think mine's idling a little.
How long did
you know what? I hear your fan more than I hear my fan.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Really starting to think something's wrong, whether it's that water pump or something else.
Definitely a temp.
Oh, this is definitely at a temp.
Yeah, it's got all the temp, I think.
Yeah, it's got all of it. Oh! Careful here.
Geyser.
Oh.
The Yosemite over here.
That was almost a bad time. Oh yeah, it's on your side, yeah.
Oh man.
What?
It's like cool to the touch.
Yeah. How's yours?
I like warm. Noticeably warm.
Something's definitely wrong.
Noticeably warm. This has been running like almost 10 minutes longer than I started to turn mine on.
About 5 minutes, yeah. There's definitely something not right. Yeah, something seriously isn't right. At 240 now. Something seriously is not right.
Better pay now. Heat soaked?
I think it's heat soaked. Yeah, something definitely isn't right. Oh yeah, it's climbing back up. Alright, well, that'll be where I end this one. Because next step is going to be probably pull that radiator back out. And probably pull the water pump. Because I don't know where else to look at this point. We don't have coolant mixing with oil. That's I'm absolutely sure. When I drain the coolant, there's no oil in the coolant. When I pull the dipstick's still exactly where it was and doesn't look like anything mixed with it. And we keep hearing this weird, how would you describe it?
It was like something just like let go.
Yeah.
Like it was
like something.
Like when I grabbed that the upper radiator hose, it felt like the thermostat just like kicked open, you know, like a,
yeah,
you know, and I felt it.
Yeah, but it keeps doing it like over and over again.
Yeah, you feel it. You're holding the heater hose or whatever. It's just like very intermittent. But
Intermittent.
International.
Yeah, I'm really thinking so impellers on the
intergalactic planetary.
Yeah. The impellers on the water pump. It looks like the original water pump, so it's a possibility. And if I go that far, if bolts break, yeah. And then if I go that far, it's going to turn into a timing chain because, you know, I mean, might as well put a timing chain in it while.
Oh, what did the speedometer say before everything fell apart?
43 something, I don't know, or 043, so I don't know.
I mean, what? Could have been 140.
Hey, but at least I have this cool working Stuart Warner vintage temperature gauge now.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Yeah, it's nice. Very nice.
What time is it?
Time to get a watch. Time is 2:37.
Oh, maybe I have a few minutes and I'll try and put this cluster back in. Yeah. At least try to end on a good note, right? Alright. Got a gauge cluster back in it. I'm sad. I wanted to end this video on a nice high positive note, but can't do that right now. So it's looking like I'm going to have to pull this water pump apart. I don't see any other explanation of what it would be. I don't feel that we're getting exhaust gases mixed into the coolant. We're not getting oil mixed in with the coolant. We're not getting coolant mixed in with the oil. The only thing I can kind of think of is that the impellers are just gone off of the water pump and it's not circulating. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless you guys have any other ideas. What am I doing wrong? I don't know everything. But confidence not the radiator. Confidence not the thermostat. Water pump does look original, so maybe. Alright, I gotta go. It's that time of the day again. So me being me, I couldn't just, you know, leave it at that because I'd be sitting there thinking about it all night. I came back. With a tool. It's a combustion leak detector. I've never used one of these before, so it's going to be a learning experience for both of us. I know, I've worked on cars my whole life. I've never used one of these, never had to. Until now. There's a first for everything. Alright, let me fill this thing up and figure it out. waiting to see if the fluid turns yellow or green. So I've been pumping this thing for about 3 minutes now, and it's still the same color. So I'm going to rule out a blown head gasket. I'm still thinking it's water pump issue. I tried this bulb both ways, and I got the same results. There's no combustion gases in there. And also, I figured there had to be a way to check if the head gaskets were installed incorrectly without tearing the motor apart. And there is. See, I never knew this. Again, I never had to know this because I never had these issues. See, I've put motors together before. I've put numerous small block Fords together before. I never got the head gaskets wrong because I double checked my work. Anywho, and never had a problem afterwards. So there's a little bit of gasket material that you should be able to see. I'm afraid to stick my head in there right now. This thing's so hot. I wonder if you guys can see it. So to tell if the more obvious, to tell if they are installed, the head gaskets, to tell if the head gaskets are installed incorrectly, look at this bottom head bolt, this one here, and see if there's a little tab of gasket sticking out. And here you will see there is no little gasket tab sticking out. It'd be like a little squared off little edge of a head gasket. So both sides in the back are like this, and so neither one has gasket sticking out. What you want to see is that gasket sticking out on the front of the motor. We checked. This one does have them sticking out on the front of the motor. So the head gaskets are installed correctly. So the only thing I could think of is the water pump. I mean, if the water pump impeller is broken, or if the blades are corroded and it's not circulating coolant, and it's you know, the coolant's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to boil inside the block, and that's exactly what it's doing. I just shut it off right now. You can hear it boiling inside that block. So what was happening for me here is it wasn't I've bled cooling systems before. I've bled a lot of them before. It's not acting like air pocket. It seems to me like the coolant is boiling over and coming out that way. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to be putting a water pump on this thing. I can't explain what else it is. I don't know. I know how to bleed cooling systems. This is mind-boggling. The only thing I could think of is that there's something goofy going on with that water pump. Oh, what was that bottom hose? Bottom hose is ice cold. It should be like somewhat warm, and it's freaking ice cold. So there's no there's like no circulation going on in there at all. So looks like I'm going to be pulling everything back out of this again to put a water pump in. Yeah, this sucks. So let me start off by saying this. I am not looking forward to doing this job. But it's a little cooler out today. It's got cloud cover. It's not supposed to rain the rest of the day. Tomorrow is my son's birthday. I think I have something else going on the next day, and it's supposed to warm up and be sunny next week. So that, and because of this wonderful thing called barometric pressure, my ankles and my knees are killing me because, you know, I'm 41 now, and I've Been working my ass off my whole damn life. Don't get old. So my options were do this while I stand in one spot and do this, or walk around my warehouse, clean things up. I'll give my ankles and knees a break this weekend and take care of the warehouse next week. Sounds like a more solid plan to me. So in a perfect world, this is like a 2.5 hour job. Figure 45 minutes to tear everything down, 15-20 minutes to prep everything, hour or so to put it back together. Like I said, in a perfect world. In my world, it's like a 3-day job because, you know, something's gonna go wrong. And I'm hoping and like crazy that this doesn't turn into a timing chain. Now, why would a water pump turn into a timing chain? Well, you see, these Ford water pumps have these long bolts. They're like, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches long. There's 4 of them, I believe. 2 on each side. They go from the water pump, they go all the way through the water pump, all the way through the timing cover into the block. Now, cast iron water pump, aluminum timing cover, cast iron block. So you've got 2 dissimilar metals with, you know, around a coolant passage of all things. You know, and coolant's kind of corrosive. So there's a good chance that at least one of those bolts is going to snap. In my experience, it always happens. I can't remember how many I've had that didn't give me any issues. So that's the main thing I'm dreading. So why would that turn into a timing chain? Well, simple. If one of those bolts snaps, I got to take the timing cover off to remedy the situation. Take the timing cover off, and I see a old worn timing chain staring at me, I'm gonna replace it. That's why this is most likely going to turn into a 2-3 day job. There I am foreshadowing again. Cross your fingers and hope that I don't have too much of an issue with those bolts. I appreciate it. I'm going to get to work. I'll show you bits and pieces here and there. I got to figure out how to use the time-lapse thing on here. Whatever. All right. To work I go. So who wants to take bets on if this is going to turn into a timing chain? Come on. What do you say? Timing chain or no chain? Well, I already know the answer to that. I tried. I went slow. I tried to loosen a little bit. Tried to tighten it. Went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Snap. That was the first one I tried. Told you this was going to happen. I told you. Well, some good news. The other 3 of those 4 bolts came out just fine. One gave me a little bit of difficulty, but it came out. So, good news is I only have 1 bolt I need to take out. Bad news is I got to pull the balancer. I got to pull the fuel pump. I got to pull the timing cover. I got to try to reseal that oil pan too. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Told you this is gonna happen. I told you this. Almost as if I've done this before, huh? Anywho, hey, look at that. Those are those tabs I was talking about. See that? That means the head gaskets are installed correctly. So there's that. Blue car. Well, it's definitely on the right track. Check this out. It is packed solid with crap. Both coolant passages. It is unbelievable. It is hard as a rock too. Oh man, I hope the rest of the motor ain't like that. If it is, then it's kind of a lost cause. There's that damn sun. I had to stop for a minute. Casualty of war. Sliced my finger right open. Started squirting blood. All right. Trying to get this timing cover off. I got 5 or 6 more bolts to go. I don't know. I got the ones off from the bottom by the oil pan. See, my worry is that that's hard as a rock too. That's lots and lots of stop leak, I'm assuming. If that extends into the block, I'm kind of screwed as far as this motor goes. So, yeah. Ooh, that is the best sight ever.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Life is good.
That's the best geyser I've ever seen in my life. Oh, look at that.
It's clogged solid. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
All the way through.
Jeez. Why am I so happy about that green geysers? Because I don't have to pull the motor.
Awesome.
Oh my god. And how much of this bolt is sticking out?
Not much.
Not much. What does the time chain? It's
warm.
It's warm, but I've seen way worse. Yeah, it should be. Oh, it's got the nylon gear on it still too. Yeah,
gear on it, so
yeah,
change it out anyway.
Oh yeah, it's close to jumping, so it's got a lot of play in it. So, all right, well, I'll get a timing chain and try and get that that bolt out. All right, well, that's where I'm stopping today. I'm gonna see if I can get a more competent welder over here and weld a nut on that broken bolt. If not, I'm gonna have to drill it out, getting cleaned up, and try to enjoy the weekend. It's my son's 7th birthday tomorrow, so should have some fun. All right, see you guys in a few seconds, but probably be about 3-4 days for me. All right, well, I'll show you what we got going on today. Got this all cleaned up. We're gonna try to weld a nut on there and see if we can get that broken bolt out. We'll see what happens. Got my buddy here. He's a little more competent at welding than I am. Just a little.
Hi, I'm his buddy.
This is Claude. He's a cool guy. I've known him since what, you're 15 or I don't know.
A long time.
Yeah. How old are you now? How old are you now?
How old am I?
Yeah.
33.
33? Jesus Christ. Known you a long ass time.
Yeah. Well, whenever Sean kind of came, well, I was hanging out with Nick too.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with Nick when I was like 16. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be at least 15 years. All right. So where am I at here? All right, so we're good.
You're still using the welder I sold you?
Yeah. Here. This is the hardest part.
Trying to figure out what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Can you hand me this down?
From up.
See if I can like. Alright, I got it. See if I can put it on.
This is why the tiny welders get paid the big money.
Yeah, they used to send me inside of tanks. Is this the?
Please work. Please work.
gonna play it safe and do a little back and forth, maybe.
That's what I was doing when I went to take it out. And, like, it's working, snap. I'm like, ah.
Do that. Something's moving.
Oh, it's definitely coming out.
Don't say that yet. Where did you get it? Fucking thinks
Well, there's space behind the nut now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. Awesome.
Did the whole thing come out?
Yeah, that's the end of the bolt. Oh, yeah, it's definitely a bunch of corrosion in there still.
Take them to the back of it now. You got air?
Yeah.
Blow it out.
Yeah, I get air. All right, so give a introduction to my buddy here. Buddy, what's your name?
My name's Claude.
And what do you do?
I'm a welder fabricator.
And tell us about your business.
My business is Claude's Welding Creations, and I do my main product's cabinet pulls. Right now I have Etsy shop for that, and a website as well. And I kind of dabble in all areas of fabrication. I got into it because of automotive stuff. I used to race.
You used to weld for companies and just got kind of tired of it, right?
Yep. I've been welding for 13 years. I started my business about 3 or 4 years ago now. Actually, I got really sick. I couldn't work full time, so I set up something to work from home, and that's kind of how I got started on my own.
And you've got a YouTube channel you're trying to start out, right?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of stuff right now, some cooking, and I'm starting a step van conversion project where I'm going to do a body swap onto an E350 chassis. It's a 1967 Dodge step van body.
Flexible coach, I think it is.
Flexible coach. Maybe you know a little more than I do.
It was a school.
Yeah, it's a mobile classroom.
It was a mobile classroom.
Yep, on the title, it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a cool story behind it.
Yeah.
But so that's what I got in there right now. Hopefully start doing more of the van build on there. I do some cooking stuff as well. That's kind of how I got healthy again, and so eventually maybe combine them both and do a little travel and some cooking and some adventures. So
thanks for coming out and helping me today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I say
it worked out.
He got this done and knocked it out in 30 minutes and made it all nice and professional looking. And me, I would have been struggling with it for 3 days. So
yeah. Setup took longer than doing the work.
Hey, people make fun of these little guys, but they can get in these tight spots and get shit done. We're trying to shove our hands in there and it just ain't working.
Yeah.
And thanks again, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Huge thanks to Claude for coming out and helping me with it. I wish my welding skills were lackluster at best. Let's put it that way. I'm a little rusty in the welding department. Oh, he got that done and knocked it right out. So awesome job, Claude. Thank you so much for coming out. No more broken bolt. And I cleaned up the block a bunch. I'll throw some paint on there. I try to always make things look better than how I found them, even if the surrounding areas look lackluster at best. At least I know the spots I touched are going to look better than they did when I started. So I actually found the paint here. I knew I had some. Letting that dry. Figure I'll dress up the rest of the parts too. Nice and noisy here during the day. Show you real quick what I got going on, because I got to throw this thing on the charger. But running a 5/16 18 tap through the timing cover mounting holes. Did this one first. There was all kinds of corrosion in there, so it was pretty bad. Try to do that, clean all the junk out of the holes, just to make reassembly a little easier. And went ahead and replaced this ground cable because the original was broken and somebody like wrapped it around this bolt up here. So I'm sure that wasn't helping starting at all. So nice new cable. Along with the block, it's also a good idea to chase the threads on the timing cover itself. So you're not cutting new threads, you're just chasing them. You're just, you're just cleaning them out. So as long as you have a nice free, yeah, this is totally not the correct tool to do it with, but as long as it's not hanging up, you're doing fine. Okay, nice and free. All you're doing is cleaning out the whole dirt and junk that's in there so that you don't have problems when you put everything back together. The one on the block that broke, that one had a lot of junk in it, so it was actually a really good idea that I did this. There was actually a couple more that had problems. Here, see that? All that junk was in there. Guess what? That stuff has nowhere to go when you're tightening up a bolt, so. See, good idea I did that. All that was in there. When I'm done, I'll take an air hose and blow all these out. But, see, always a good idea to do it. All right. Got some parts and we're gonna get some work done today, I swear. It's also cottonwood season. Little fuzzy cotton balls floating around everywhere. This sucks. If you didn't know, those things are highly flammable. Anywho, getting ready to pull this timing chain off. And before you do that, well, make sure the battery's disconnected. Number one, always make sure the battery's disconnected. Make sure your timing marks are lined up. So the Ford, the keyway on the crankshaft is the timing mark on the crank sprocket, obviously. And then on the cam gear, it's got this little pointer, like right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's like right there. So as long as that is in line with the keyway on the crankshaft, you should be at top dead center. Now, as long as your engine is properly tuned and running right, what you're going to want to see is the ignition rotor under the cap pointing at cylinder number one. I think this is cylinder number one. I think so. It should be. So I already loosened the cap. So what we're looking for is to make sure that rotor underneath the cap is pointing at this cylinder. This chain's got some slop in it, so I don't expect it to be absolutely flawless, but the timing tabs are in line, so they should be. So remember, look for right here. Oh, there it is. So that cylinder is so the number one cylinder is definitely top dead center, and those marks are in line with each other. So now you can proceed with taking the old chain off. Now the small block Ford timing sets are fairly interchangeable between a 302 and a 321 Windsor, but what you have to look out for is see how this has a two-piece fuel pump eccentric. You need to get a timing set that is compatible with the two-piece timing, or the two-piece fuel pump eccentric. If you don't, you're going to have issues. So make sure you get the right one for your application, of course. It's got a little dowel in the end of the camshaft, so you don't have to worry too much about how you put this on. And coincidentally, the dowel lines up with the timing mark. Most of these aftermarket timing sets have 3 different keyways on them. They'll have like a little circle right here, a little square, and then a little like triangle. So what you want to do, or well, what those are for, I believe 0 is pretty much factory timing mark. Advance is the little triangle guy here, and the retard is the little square rectangular guy. So if you have like a performance engine and you need to set the engine at so many degrees retarded, you put on this one. You want to set it so many degrees advanced, you put on this one. Or just stock motor and you don't have to worry about any of that jazz, put on that one. So you guys can see I'm not crazy later on. Keyway pointing at the timing mark, right? Alright. So you have this bolt. See, you're supposed to tighten that up. Well, there's no hole in that side. Alright, so we shouldn't have an issue because you got this one here and one over here. And it's just a backing plate, so it should be fine. We're more concerned with the area around here. Around these guys here on either side. But that's not my only problem. Test fit and everything, because so I can remember where all the bolts go. I'm like, alright, so this goes here. But wait. It hits right there. Look, it hits right there where that road mark is. I can't put the bracket on. So, say, okay, great, throw some washers on there. Well, this is the alternator bracket. If I throw some washers there, it's going to throw the geometry of the belt all off. So, always something. But we're in luck. Because in comes Private Pile to save the day. If you don't know what Private Pile is, go back and watch one of my first videos. I give you an introduction on Private Pile here. But I go to look at, because I've been robbing some bolts off of it. This one, he's got a little hump in that alternator bracket. So it is a 3-1 Windsor, so I'm confident this bracket's going to work. Well, we'll find out when I get the rest of the way out of here. So one of the bolts I had to remove was the same one that broke on the van. Guess how this one fared? Come on, gas. Get one gas, come on. Right, what do you think? This shit broke too. This one I expected because this motor's locked up tighter than Fort Knox, so. Alright. I didn't show you, but I did install a new seal. It's a front engine seal. It was kind of odd. I thought they all went in through the front. This one went in through the back, so whatever. That's how the old one came out too, through the back. Before you slide this over the shaft, you want to apply a little lube. Engine oil works best. You don't want to put the shaft through the hole dry, because bad things will happen. So we'll leave it at that. And like that, I ran out of time. Again. Sold the Datsun though. Just sold it about 5 minutes ago. So made some van money, you know? It's always good when you make van money. But show you what I got done today. Timing covers on, water pumps on, alternator brackets are on, balancer's on, timing pointer is on, fuel pump is on, power steering pump is on. Oh, welcome to Northern Illinois, where it's 85 degrees out one day and 55 degrees out the next. I have about 2 hours today. I'm going to try to get this buttoned up. Unfortunately, unfortunately, today's the last day of school for my son, and it's only a half day, so I only have a couple hours today to work on this. Surprise, surprise, I dropped another radiator bolt. You want to know why I keep dropping these bolts? Here. How do you suppose I get my hand in here? Let's see. Go. No. No. Oh, maybe there. But then I can't. Can't go from this way. Getting a ratchet in there is just as difficult. So many obstructions. And with that, everything has got a place, and everything's in its place. Except for the coolant and the positive battery cable, I think. I'm not gonna have time to change oil today, unfortunately. But I will have time to at least start it up, make sure everything's going, and fill some coolant in here. So I'm going to do shortly. Pause because I was bidding on a car on IAA. Something special. It's always something special. I'm a special case. I don't win in it too, so wait till you see this thing. Hopefully I didn't take it in the you-know-who, or take it in the you-know-what. Give you a hint, I was probably bidding against like the Parts Farm or Cleveland Performance or something along those lines. All right, I've got 2 gallons of coolant in it. I'm gonna start it and get it to idle. Hopefully start it as long as it's gonna run. Make sure nothing's catastrophically wrong, and go get some more water or coolant. Got a little noise up here somewhere. Not in the motor, that's on the accessories. I got like 10 minutes, so let's see what this radiator does. Just push some air bubbles out. That's a good sign. $180. All right, keep it up. I gotta leave in about 5 minutes. I gotta make sure I get to the bus stop. I said there's a little bit of noise up front. Not sure what that is, but I'll figure it out. I'm definitely gonna change the oil after this. Oh, that bottom hose is doing it. Bottom hose is warm. You know what that means? It means the water's circulating. That one's getting warm. That one's getting warm. I think we got somewhere. I'm gonna give it like 2-3 more minutes just to be sure. It's got a 192 thermostat in it. It's right about 190 right now. Oh, it just creeped up. They're like 195 right now. Actually, it stopped at 195 and it came back down. Which that's the thermostat opening and closing. It's not running at 250 degrees anymore. It's also not leaking anything. Oh, be careful of this chrome plating, man. This shit's dangerous. I caught my hand on it the other day, just barely. Ripped my hand open. It was bleeding like crazy. Like a freaking razor blade. I think we're good. I think we're good. You think we're good? Whew. All right, I gotta go. Got to get the oil changed next, and I think it's a running, driving vehicle now. I haven't seen any more air come up. Cap on. the hood. All right. Well, you guys have a awesome Memorial Day weekend. I gotta go. We'll see you.